All right. So the past few days, guys, we've had a lot of amazing calls, whether it be, jumping on the NFT, wagon, whether it be Nick's boot camp, which I hope that you guys were on. He was going over a lot of basics, a lot of, just going back to what made him a successful trader, which is something that we all like, guys. One of the things that I've learned in trading is that we don't know everything, and we're never going to know everything. There's always going to be something that we're going to need to learn, or who you are now is not who you were when you started. So even though you are listening to the same things, you're going to understand them differently now because you're a different person. And so that's one of the things that I love about jumping on all of the sessions, because like, dude, I was on Nick's call and I took notes. And obviously it's stuff that I've already implemented into my own trading, but I'm still over here taking notes. I know a lot of you guys jump on a lot of calls. There's so many calls a day, like throughout the entire day. I swear you guys can be on your phone all day, every day, on Zoom calls, on, the Go Lives or whatever. But, the whole point of jumping onto the trading, industry was to free up your time. We want not just financial freedom, but time freedom. So being locked down to a phone or computer and being on calls is obviously not something that we want. So we want to pick and choose where we jump on, where it's going to benefit us the most, right? Like me personally, you guys, I only trade crypto. You guys know this. I have traded Forex before. I have, done HFX before, but I only trade crypto. So I'm not going to jump on any calls that have to do with, HFX. I'm not going to jump on any calls for Forex. Like, I'm not going to even jump on any trading calls. I don't care if there's copy and paste signals. Like, there's more than enough profits to be made off of crypto, and I'm not greedy. I'm going to just stick to what I know, right? And so that's something that I hope that you guys are implementing into your trading career, because I feel that a lot of people, they get spread so many different ways and then they're not successful. Like, I know that you guys have heard the term jack of all trades, right? There's a jack of all trades, somebody who knows how to do everything, right? I can fix the sink, I could, retile the bathroom, I could do this, I could do that. That's a jack of all trades. But what's the point of being a jack of all trades and a master of none? Right? That's not what you guys want to be. You guys want to be able to hopefully soon master something. And I always say that you're never a master, right? Because you're always learning, always a student, right? But still, you guys can do it enough to where it's going to be what your specialty is in. Does that make sense? And so, guys, I always pick and choose what calls I'm on. I was on Nick's call. I was on Sean's call. I get on anything crypto. I haven't even like, guys, I've been trading crypto for so long, and I've been involved with cryptocurrency as far as building my portfolio, holding it as an asset for years. I remember doing live, like Facebook lives, and it's so funny when the memories come up on my newsfeed, because you get to see yourself and what the hell you were talking about back in the day. And I was over here telling people about mining, like not to trust these mining companies, that they were doing like the network marketing type mining. And I remember telling them to do their own research and all this stuff. But guys, I've been buying Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum forever. Like, I've told you guys the story when I sold Bitcoin. I think it was like at $6,000, and I sold Ethereum when it was like at $600. Like, I bought it at a really low price and I sold. Yes, I was one of those. I beat myself up every day. Never again, right? We learn from our mistakes, but I've been doing it for a very long time. And so even though I do hold it as an asset and I am building my portfolio, guys, I don't even log on to Curtis Cobain's session. Like, I listen to for coins, and I do look and I do my research, and that's how I jump into different coins. But as far as like being on those sessions and then doing trading on the exchange, I don't do that, right? And then like with NFTs, it sounds so interesting, and I see it, and I have jumped on. Guys, I've been on Mr. Banks lives. I have done my research, right? Because you start hearing it, and then you're just like, what is this? And so you do your own research, right? But I'm not going to jump into it 100% either. I will do the research and get educated, so then that way if somebody asks me, I can direct them into the where to go to watch it, if that's what their choice is going to be. But I'm going to stick to what works for me, and I want to stick to doing this, right? And again, I am still growing all of my portfolio. I am going to get into this, get into that, even like the gaming guys, like everything, right? I'm aware of it. I see it, but I'm not going to completely ignore what it is that I've been studying so long just to jump on that. Okay. And so guys, just keep that in mind. Don't be a master of all trades, and I'm sorry, a jack of all trades and a master of none. You guys don't want to do that. Okay. But with that being said, I was asking who was on Nick's call or who was on Sean's call, because guys, the information that they give out is crazy. And if you guys were on Sean's call, there was one person who said that she was on the call. But if you guys were on Sean's call, he called out a trade for Ethereum, and it is in hella profit. Right now, we're 400 pips in profit. Well, okay, I had caught it lower, right? But he caught it, my trades that I had activated, so I caught it a little bit lower, but his trade that he called out, it's well in profit. Okay. So yeah, so if you guys were on his call, like, you guys can actually see him trade. Like, a lot of times people ask, like, and that this is one thing that I do love about Daniel, is because he'll send me his chart. He'll ask me about my chart. He wants to see what I see. Now, the whole point of the live sessions that the Academy offers is for you guys to see firsthand, live, what these educators are looking at, as opposed to us just telling you, like when we back test. Don't get me wrong, I love back testing, but when these educators are back testing, or like when we're back testing, it's one thing to tell you like, oh, look at this, it happened, as opposed to seeing like, look at this, it's going to happen. And you know exactly what you're looking for. You know where to put your alerts. You know, you're like seeing everything live, right? And so that's one of the things that I hope that you guys realize, the value that is in your academy. Like, you guys don't understand, and I say this in every session, there's so many trading academies or trading programs out there, but the fact that we have these educators that are actually trading with us live is so different. And a lot of the times I do get a lot of people that they ask me, they're like, oh, well, why don't you call it trades? Why don't you do this? And I was like, you have the academy for that. Literally, we just got off a session with Sean that he called out a Bitcoin and an Ethereum buy, right? And so why am I going to do it when you guys are paying your monthly tuition for those calls from these educators who are masters in their category, right? And so a lot of the times, like when we're on these calls, it's more for like, let's look at what we're doing with that information that is given to us, right? Because anybody that was on that call, we are more than enough in profit right now for you guys not to move your safety net in profit, right? And I was telling Daniel, I actually ended from like 4 a.m. Daniel, what time? It was like 3-4 a.m. that we were texting, right? From then on till now, I have 30 wins and 7 losses. So every single one of those 30 wins were not TP trades. I was getting stopped out because I moved my safety net in profit, and I took a bag. I caught a bag, right? Whether it be the smallest bag or the biggest bag, I caught a bag. It was in profit. I was in the blue. My balance kept increasing because of that. Okay. Now, a lot of the times, too many people leave their trades open. They still won't move their safety net. Like right now, that trade that Sean called out, it is a perfect example because it's called, right? And so some people think like, oh, it's not far enough. What if it reverses? What if it comes back down? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a safe entry, get back in. If there's a pullback that came back, right, and it stops you out, what is that creating? It created a low and it created another high, right? And so you guys can throw a fib on there, see if there's another entry to get in. And I'm actually going to show you guys, because Daniel asked me about my safety nets, like how do I trail it? He was trailing it to close, getting stopped out too soon. That's something that I really do want to show you today, because I feel that once you guys kind of get the hang of it, you're not going to want to trade without a safety net, because it becomes fun. Think about it. How is it that I was able to take 30 trades in one day? And a lot of times people are like, dude, that's crazy, 30 trades in one day. But that's because I'm getting stopped out. Guess what? I found another entry, got back in. And then, and if you guys have been watching crypto, then you know both Ethereum and Bitcoin, it has been consolidating in the same area, in the same zone for a long time, right? And so the ping ponging, the ups and downs is why I'm calling it, getting stopped out, entering again, and so on and so forth. I'm not just getting in blindly either, you guys. And I was just explaining to Daniel, I usually do 3 entries and I do 2 entries per, or 2 trades per entry. So I usually have 6 trades open at the same time. So that is, again, another reason why I had 30, wins and 7 losses. But that doesn't mean that you guys should trade that much. I'm just telling you what I do. And I'm giving you guys an example of the power of safety nets, because I don't think, like, people always tell you, like, oh, we'll trail it, 100 pips or 200 pips or whatever. And yes, that could work, but I do it a little bit different. That is still kind of averages out to the same concept, but I don't want you guys to, in other words, I don't want this to come around and bite you in the ass. Does that make sense? Like, when you guys are trading, I want you guys to maximize your profits. I want you guys to be able to keep trading and keep doing this over and over again until it becomes such a habit that you just automatically do it. Because again, you guys, your proper risk management is what's going to save your ass in trading. Your proper risk management is what's going to keep you in the blue. Guys, this account that, and this is something that I was going to mention last week, but I didn't. For those of you guys that have KOT, if you guys have tried to withdraw or have tried to deposit, they changed. Now you can only do it through Instacoin. I don't use Instacoin. I was using just my Cash App or my Coinbase. And so I went to go make a withdrawal and I was just like, wait, what the fuck? And it threw me off because, and I'm one of those people that I just don't like change sometimes. So I was like freaking out. And then I was like, okay. And then I was looking and I was reading because I wanted to see like what other changes they made. Well, now their minimum deposit is actually $50. And so before it used to be $10, which is why I would push KOT so much, because I knew that even adding like $10 or whatever to an account, it could really help, either so that way you guys aren't over leveraged in case you guys did, try to correct those little mistakes. So what I did was I actually had to set myself up with Instacoin and do all of that stuff so I could withdraw. And when I was doing that, I was like, well, I want to trade, right? And I had $25 in my Cash App for a Bitcoin. So I actually sent that to Prosperity because I do have a Prosperity account too. And I've been trading. That account was zeroed out because I wasn't using Prosperity anymore. But this account that I'm trading on is only with $25. And I think I mentioned that the last time that it was up over $280. You know what I mean? And so like that just goes to show you how you can build even off of the small accounts. And you're going to be able to do that with proper risk management and being able to I guess, put your greed and your pride, your ego to the side and just really follow the rules. I do this all of the time, you guys, and I document because I want to show people, like, I want to show you guys that it's possible, because too many people, they're like, no, well, it's easy for you to say you have a big account. You're right, I do on my KOT. But on Prosperity, I could show you, we can go back until when I made that deposit and it's going to show you $26.40, right? And you guys can see all of the trades and you guys can see the difference between the overall wins and the overall losses. And I do that because, again, I know that I could show that account to anybody. They could log in and they could look at my trades. They can actually see the wins and the losses. You know what I'm saying? And I do that because I want to prove that that's all it really takes. Like, people, and I know that we tell you guys to be safe, that you should have at least $250 in, like, let's say for Bitcoin, and maybe like 150. I only say $100 for Ethereum or XRP, right? But I mean, it just goes to show you that if you're patient and if you do it correctly and if you use proper risk management, those small losses add up. I'm sorry, those small wins add up. The small losses do too, guys. But all of your small wins, all of your small profits, they do add up, and you guys will eventually have, more money that you guys can start trading on. Okay, so that I just wanted to throw that in there in case anybody that's brand new and you guys were told that the minimum deposit was $10 on KOT. It is not. Now it is $50. Prosperity is still $10. Prosperity, you can use Cash App and Coinbase to fund. KOT, now you can only fund it with Instacoin. Okay. So if that's a problem for you guys, if you guys aren't set up, Prosperity has the exact same spread. Prosperity is literally the exact same thing as KOT. So that might be an option for you guys. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump onto the charts, and we're going to show you how I trail my safety net. And I am going to go over my checklist to you guys. I know that somebody had asked me if I could go over how I determine whether I'm going to get in on a trade or not. And so that's something that I do want to show you guys as well. But for right now, we are going to get in on, we're going to go over here to Ethereum. Okay, guys, this was the buy that he called out, that Sean called out. And you guys can see right here that we are, that is already, it's 33 pips in profit, which is the equivalent of like 330 pips in profit. So you guys could definitely move your safety net here. Okay, but we're going to go into Bitcoin. Okay, now actually we're going to stay on Ethereum. We're going to stay on Ethereum only because I know that for anybody that's brand new, Ethereum is just a little sexier. Ethereum for people that are brand new. Okay, it's, the spread is less. It's going to be a little bit safer for you guys to trade. Okay. And so I've told a lot of people to start with Ethereum and then graduate to Bitcoin. And if you guys have been on my sessions for a while, you know, I'm obsessed with Bitcoin. Like, I love it. That was the only thing I was trading. And then I started really going towards Ethereum only because I once took a $3 account on Bitcoin and I turned it into $1,400, like within, God, I don't even remember how, I think 7 days. And literally $3. I did it with it, like my boy Andrew, everybody, like I had them looking and constantly documenting because that's how low the spread used to be. But then Bitcoin got ridiculous, right? All the fees, everything was just super high. And so I switched over to Ethereum because there's something about flipping small accounts that just, it makes my day, because it kind of just reminds you of the things that you've learned, because you're forced to use your proper risk management because you could blow an account, right? You're forced to get into the safest trade possible because you don't have that much to risk. And so there's just something about flipping small accounts that I love. Okay. Now with Ethereum, yeah, I remember I showed you guys also, I took a $6 account and I flipped that as well. Now I have this $26 account and I'm flipping it as well. So you guys can always see that I do this again, and I use it as teaching material for anybody that wants to really learn. Now, guys, on Ethereum, if you guys can see here, I'm going to zoom out. This is on the, is this a 15-minute chart? I can't see because you guys are in the way. Yeah, okay. So you guys can see here that it's just been kind of playing in the same zone forever, right? It's kind of annoying actually. But when you're trading, like you see it and you're just like, damn. And if you guys caught these big breakouts, I mean, good for you. You guys already know that the scalper called a lot of these. As a matter of fact, let's look to see where the scalper called this buy here. If you guys got in, you guys caught a bag. You guys can see here that the scalper, again, boom, the scalper, guys, gives out really good calls. So I really hope that you guys are taking advantage of them. If you're not, seriously, you're missing out. Because what the scalper is calling is usually right before some of those big moves. Like a lot of you guys, and I'm going to say a lot of us guys, right? Because there's some times where I do leave trades open forever. And it's annoying because I'm not taking any trades, but I have trades open. And what did I tell you guys? The hardest thing for a trader to do is to not trade, right? We'll start looking at the chart, just staring at it, hoping that a trade's going to jump out at us. And, you know, we already in a trade. So, I mean, we could just get in again, right? But one of the things that the scalper does is it calls these trades that if you get in and if you take, let's say you take a trade and you have a certain TP, but then you have another trade where you're kind of just trailing your safety net, like you can literally catch so many pips if that's what you guys are doing. Now, the scalper is giving you guys those entries. The scalper is literally advising you, hey, look at this area. And if you guys are taking it, then you guys are making money. Okay. Now, I've said it time and time again, the amount of pips that are caught with the scalper, it is ridiculous. Okay. So again, if you guys are brand new to this call, and if you guys don't know, you guys have this scanner that actually gives out these trades on both. As a matter of fact, let's switch over to the scanner. You guys have it on both Ethereum and Bitcoin. You see, this is Bitcoin. You guys can see here all of the arrows that are called out, and you guys can see here when they're called out. It's usually when you get these big moves, okay? And if you guys stay in, I mean, let's look at this one right here. If you guys would have caught this move when they had called it, followed proper scalper rules, and if let's say you guys would have left it open, that's 2,500 pips. And remember how I said that I only trade crypto because there's more than enough profit to be caught in just crypto, that I don't need to be looking, I don't need to be calling Daniel and be like, yo, what's up? What do you see on US 30? What do you see on gold? Like, let me in on some trades, man. Come on. No, why? That's greed. I can sit here and trade, and I ping pong both Ethereum and Bitcoin. All I can literally just eat off of one pair, which is what I was doing for the longest time. Like when people ask me how I hit 6 figures on trading crypto, guys, I only did it trading Bitcoin. I was not trading Ethereum. This is when I was telling you that I was just so obsessed with Bitcoin. Guys, XRP gives out those, like Nick calls out XRP trades. I wasn't even taking those copy and paste trades. And then I posted it in our group chat. I was like, damn, imagine if I would have just taken advantage of the XRP trades too. Like, where would I have been? But again, I'm not greedy. So you guys can see here that the scalper is literally giving you guys all of these calls. Like, they're giving you guys these trades. Now, a good example, and this is something that I think Caesar asked me last week. He asked me, why is it that there was a sell called on the scalper, but then there was a buy called on our Swipe Coin app? And I went over it in our call on Monday. But guys, this is a good example too. So this sell was called out. Now, I was actually already in a sell, so I was able to catch some pips on the way down. I think I only caught like 500 pips, not that much. But when I was in the sell, you guys, and it hit a zone that I was looking at that used to be my previous, it was a previous resistance zone that I had marked up on Ethereum. And it took me forever. This is Ethereum. It took me forever to figure out why I had that zone marked up. But it actually activated some orders that I had, and I didn't even know that I had these orders. So when I saw that these orders activated, I quickly, took profit on my sales, and then I just kind of watched it. But then when it was right around the time that they called out this sell, and so I was actually on Sean's call when they called it out, and he's like, oh, we're not taking a sell. This is going to be a buy, because he was looking at the zones. He was looking at how the candles were moving. He was looking at the chart, and he knew that this was going to be a buy that he could catch before the scalper called the buy. So he called 2 buys on his call, you guys. He called the one that it was actually a little bit below here. The area that it needed to break and close was 39.11. And then he called another one up here. So once it breaks past the other zone, it could be another buy, 24,000, 2,4,100. Now we're looking at the TPs that Nick had posted before, right? And so this is something that, again, you're gonna get this from the scalper, which, guys, this was a good sell. Like, I'm not saying that it wasn't. Like, if anybody would have taken it, of course they would have waited for it to break and close, or they probably wouldn't have taken it until down here, and then it started coming up. But if anybody would have been ballsy and just took it here, I know how some of you guys are, because I see so many people that they would have been like, oh, I'm gonna get in on this sell, like right here. They would have been able to capitalize on those pips, right? I actually caught it again, like I said, a little higher up, because once I saw this candle here and I saw this long rejection of this candle, I automatically knew that this was going to start pushing down. And so I just did my little high to low right here. And you guys can see here that it actually wicked up. And so I got into a sell here and rode it all the way down. Now, when he looked at this, you guys, he's actually giving you guys the trade. Now, again, these educators are telling you exactly what to look for. If you guys aren't applying this knowledge, I mean, I get it. Everybody wants that easy button that you just push and it's done for you, right? That's the reason why the weight loss industry is so big. Guys, it is like the health industry, like weight loss and all of that, guys, it is like in the billions. You have no idea how many more people would want to take a pill that's going to make them lose weight, drink a shake, put some stupid wrap on their body, because that's so much faster than going out there and doing the work, right? And it's the same with trading. Why do you think our Swipe Trades app for Forex and our Swipe Coin app is so popular? Because people just want to copy and paste the trades. They just want to copy and paste this. Guys, you don't know how many times I've had people, they're like, can you just trade for me? Like, if I just give you money, can you trade for me? And I'm like, why? Like, dude, I could show you exactly how to trade it yourself. Like, why would you want me to do it for you when you can do it? But it's just the fact that they don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so this is where you guys have to understand that these educators are giving you all of that knowledge, and they're telling you exactly why they're looking at this area, why they're going to wait for here. And I love the way that Sean teaches, because I've told you guys before that I never just jump into a trade. Like here, I would have waited. I always would have waited until the next candle, just because that I know that there's a chance that it could just be a fake out, and it's going to retest, and then I could take it. Doesn't always retest. We know that, but this is something that I've always been big on, and Sean actually incorporates all of that already into his trading. So if you guys are brand new and want to learn the scalper, jump on Sean's session. Monday, he goes over, it's kind of like the session that he had today was a little bit more advanced. He went over a lot of information. And if you guys didn't watch his session, I really suggest that you guys go back and you rewatch it, because it was a really good session. Okay. But he does like intro to the scalper on Monday. So put your brand new people on. If you guys are still taking advantage of the building part of this industry, then you guys really, again, I'm not saying this because I'm biased and I'm just obsessed with crypto. I truly believe that cryptocurrency, the DCX package, is the easiest or the simplest package to get people started on. Because first of all, the curriculum is not that much, right? Second of all, I feel like we have a lot more. And third of all, I feel like there's so much popularity around crypto right now, not just in our industry, but around the world, right? We constantly hearing that all of these coins or Bitcoin or crypto is being adopted by so many different places. So you guys want to be able to show people that, hey, this is the future. We're going to get started. So if you guys aren't getting people started with the DCX package, I don't know what you're waiting for. Okay. HFX gives me anxiety. I personally will not get people started with HFX, not to mention that so many of my people have had problems with the broker that I am not going to put them through that. They're trusting me to make money in this industry, and I'm not going to set them up for failure. So I will not get people started with HFX. Is it still a good thing to trade? Hell yeah, don't get me wrong, right? I just happen, you know how they say like there's a 1 in 50 chance that this could go wrong. My people happen to be that one that went wrong, right? And so it kind of really built a sour taste in my mouth. So but again, I want to be able to help them out with what I know, and I want to help them out. So crypto is what I'm going to put them on. Okay. So if you guys are getting your people started, make sure you're getting them on Sean's session. Before it used to be Curtis Cobain. He did crypto one-on-one, which his videos are still the videos that I send people to, right? Learning fibs, support and resistance, right? Supply and demand zones. Like, I want you guys to learn all of that stuff. But Sean is really good at that. Now, aside from Sean, you've got Nick. So good. Nick goes over everything. Again, he's doing a boot camp, literally going over everything from fibs to again, support and resistance, to entries, to flips, to everything, right? And then you have Picasso, who's more advanced, but a genius nonetheless, right? So you guys need to be using these educators. You guys need to be really, really putting your people on. Again, you have people, I've been trading forever, you guys. I have made 6 figures in this industry, and I'm still on those calls, and I'm still taking notes, and I'm still applying everything that they teach, because I know for a fact that my trading could be better. Like I could, or maybe there's something that I'm missing, right? I even still ask Daniel, like a second set of eyes is always better than mine. And I'm like, yo, this is what I see. What do you see? And then he sends me his chart and it's marked up exactly like me. Now, Daniel trades a lot like me, but why? Because him and I, like, we do bounce a lot of stuff off of each other. And so that's just good. You're going to see that a lot of your people are going to adopt to your style of trading because you're teaching them. Okay. But everybody has a different style. So there's a lot of times where people will tell me like, oh, well, I trade this way. Okay. If it works for you, don't listen to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at it. hear it, see it. But if what you're doing still works, then do it your way. That's what I do. I'm telling you, my partner will come in here and he'll try to talk to me about Elliott waves and all of this stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, it sounds great. And it sounds super smart. Right? But I'm just like, hey man, I'm just gonna draw a fib and then my support and resistance, and I'm gonna see if it's gonna, break and close, and if it hits the sweet spot, I'm gonna take it. Like, it's so simple. And I always tell Daniel, it sounds funny because like I love hearing my partner talk about trading because he just sounds so smart, right? And I love it. But then you hear me and it's just like, yeah, that's it. Just 50%, 618. Like, it's so different, but it works for me. And guys, I'm not going to change the way I trade. I'm not. Like, I'm telling you, it works for me. And what probably keeps me in the blue is the fact that I will not sacrifice my proper risk management for anything. My pride is non-existent when I'm trading. I have zero emotions. I am like a robot when I'm trading, because there's no room for emotions when you're trading. And I feel like too many people get emotional, and that's the reason why they're losing. Okay. Now, when you're in a trade, especially, and I'm gonna use the trade that Sean gave out as an example, because it was a perfect example of why. Let me just move this, you guys, delete these. It broke the trends that I had on there as well. But anyways, so guys, this is the area that he called it out. Okay. So he said that once it broke and closed above this area, that's going to be a safe buy to take. And so again, you guys, I've already said this. If you guys would have taken it, let's say at this candle here, so this trade is 27 pips in profit. So that's the equivalent of 270 pips in profit, like with 0.01 as your lot size. So you guys have enough room right there that you could have moved this trade into profit. Like, there's no reason why you guys should have kept that open. Okay. Or left your safety net somewhere down here to where if it would have come back down, you guys are going to get stopped out, and you guys are going to get stopped out negative, like in the red, and you don't want that, right? But your emotions get the best of you every single time that you guys enter a trade. And true or false, like, I want you guys to answer this in the chat. True or false, every time you enter a trade in crypto, you guys think that it's to the moon. True or false? Like, you guys are hoping, praying, fingers crossed. You got your candle. Look, and I got a candle right here. You guys got a candle and you light it and you're like, oh, this is the one to the moon. How many? True or false? Every time you enter a trade, you hope and you pray that it's going to be to the moon. Let me know in the chat, you guys. I really want to say, yep, everybody's saying true, 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 because you guys know that it's true. And that's just the way that we are, you guys. We've been conditioned with everything that we hear, that Bitcoin is going to go to 200,000 and Ethereum is going to hit 10 grand. XRP is going to 2,000. Oh man, if XRP goes to $2,000, bye. You can see me on the beach somewhere, right? But when you guys enter these trades, I know what goes through your mind, because it goes through mine too. Like, even now that I still have very, very strict proper risk management rules, guys, every time I enter a trade, I'm just like, this is it. This is the move. This is what's going to retire us, baby. Like, I'm going to call my mom and my dad and be like, you don't got to work no more. Let's do this. I feel the same thing. So I know, right? But what you guys need to be aware is that is just the feeling, right? You still got to use proper risk management because this is a perfect example. Okay. This trade, you guys took it right here. Okay. Now this was the low. You guys know that I'm huge on fibs. I use fibs. This is an area. This was a previous resistance area that I had, and it broke past. Okay. It broke past, and then it's just been playing with this is the top one, right? So this is the new area of resistance that it needs to break past in order for it to keep going up. Okay, I do use support and resistance, you guys, not just fibs, but I use more fibs when I'm looking at certain things. Entries, if I'm ping-ponging it, you guys can see all of these areas that, I sold, bought, sold, bought, like you guys can see here, I left this one purposely because that was a buy area that Daniel and I were talking about. We're like, this is a buy, hopefully that's going to be where it's going to move up. But I knew that there was still a possibility that it could go down, and it really did. And so that one stopped me out of my safety net that I had. Just it stopped me out, and I didn't get back in. I didn't get mad either, because I knew that it was going to be a possibility for me to get in again, right? And I was already in some sales from further up, so it didn't matter that I got stopped out in those. Okay, now when you guys are looking at all of this, right, and if you guys, this is just a little tip, I don't know if you guys want to use it for your safety net, but when you guys are in a trade, right, what I personally do is I usually draw a fib, because you have this little candle that started, it's a white candle, right? So this candle opened bearish, it's going down, so there's a little pullback, right? And so if you guys are drawing a fib, then you guys can do the high to low to high, where can I buy, right? So you were looking for a possible new entry, right? A safe entry to get in. And if you guys look, where is it at? It is exactly where he had called the break and close, right? So this could be a possible buy area. Now, so if you guys have already moved your safety net into profit, right, and it does come back down here, it's literally just taking you back where you entered. Does that make sense? Like, you guys could just get in again, not just get in, but you could already secure a bag and get in again. Okay, now it doesn't always have to retest. The buyers could be strong, and it could just be one of these where it might just kind of like play off the 236, 382 and then shoot up, because you guys know that if it doesn't pass those zones, then it's not an active fib, right? And this area was already, I feel like it already tested back right here with this candle. Once it closed up here, it came back and it touched that area, and then it shot back up. So there could be a possibility that this could just kind of play up to the upside. But if it doesn't, this is another entry. Okay, so if you do move your safety net in profit, do you guys see that there is still a possibility to get in? And when I posted in a group chat that I went 15 and 2, I had taken 15 trades that I won, and 2 that I got stopped out in, like red, right? Those were bad, just like faked me out, and I got stopped out, right? Now those trades that I took, the 15 trades that I took, those trades were all because I did this. So let's say that you guys started with $100, okay? And each trade you got stopped out at 100 pips, okay? Let's say that your lot size was just a penny, right? A penny. So 100 pips at a penny is what? It is $1 profit. It may not seem like a lot, you guys. It may not like at all, right? And so you have $1 profit, but I got stopped out 15 times. So how much did I actually net? Like, that's $15 that I ended up increasing my account by. Okay. Now, if you guys had $100 account, now you have $115. Okay. Now that may not seem like a lot, but guys, it is a plus. It is above what you had. And that's what you guys have to think about is you want to profit. You want to keep profiting. You want to make sure that that bag keeps growing. Okay. Now, this is a perfect example because it was called out live, right? We are hella in profit. And guys, literally this was called out maybe 10 minutes before everybody got on the call. 15 minutes max, because it broke and it closed while we were on the call. Okay. And this is something because I was telling Daniel, I had already my buys activated from down here. Okay. Now I had moved my safety net and I got stopped out in this candle. Okay. But I got back in. So I was already in some trades again and I took a bag. And so the little bags, you guys, I celebrate everything. If you look at there's so much inconsistency in price when in my blue, because it's like $3, $5, $12, $18, $9, 75 cents, like you have it all like that. But I will tell you this, you guys, I always make sure that it's like true blue and not just like break even, because you know that at break even, you're still negative. So every time that I do move my safety net, I always do a true blue. Okay. And so that's something that you guys have to really, really think about. I don't go into how to calculate your safety net here because Sean does that on his calls. Okay. Curtis Cobain has a call, like he tells you how to calculate it. Like there's already videos and calls that you can jump on and watch that. So I'm not going to go into detail because I'm not here to do the work for you. I'm here just to show you how to apply that knowledge. Okay. The value is still in the academy. You guys still have to go back and look at that academy if you guys want to learn. Okay. So now with this trade right here, I had already caught a little bag, right? Now, when this trade got called out, like I was already in, I got in some trades again. And you guys, I'm going to show you how I got back into the trade. Okay. So this was a low and this was a high, right? And because then it started pulling back and it actually activated another sweet spot. So once I got stopped out, right? Because I got stopped out in profit. I told Daniel I got stopped out in profit. I entered again. This was why. Because this low, and even though it's a blue candle, it started pulling back and I had marked it up and I had just marked up a sweet spot. And so I got in again. And so again, that's very ballsy. Don't do it. I'm just showing you because people ask me, well, how did you get in that trade? I get asked that all the time when I post pictures of my trades. Well, how did you get in on that trade? This is why, you guys, I take a lot of risks when I trade. I personally feel that without great risk, there will not be great reward, right? But I don't blow my account either. I do it within my proper risk management rules, right? And so my safety net was set and everything. The minute that it went down, I got in again. And guys, let me tell you, I got in more trades. I put more orders, I stacked them, and I put a higher lot size. Why? Because I knew that, okay, I had the pullback, I got up, like chances of it going up are pretty high. Sure enough, it did. And I think I had drawdown for maybe 3 minutes and then it just shot up. And so this is something, and I remember telling Daniel, I was like, damn, Ethereum just shot up. And this is how I got into those trades again. So when Sean's trade activated, it was just another opportunity for me to get in. Did I get in? I'll be honest with you, I did it because I was already in these trades and I have like, I think 6 trades open. So there's no need for me to do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like it just all depends on how I feel. But this is where you guys now can see that because I secured a little bag, as small as it was, it doesn't matter, my balance increased. Okay. And so I was able to get back in and get in at a higher lot size, and then I could add another order, right? So you guys can do the same thing here. Now, again, this could just keep, right there, kind of consolidating and shoot up. And so if it does, then you guys, your safety net, wherever you set it, it is safe. That means that safety net, like that trade, no matter what, is going to be in blue. Okay. And I know that I've said this many times, and I have had traders that go back and they look at their accounts. And if they would have just put their safety net in profit, and if they would have just used their proper risk management and followed the rules, and I'm going to say it's a high percentage, like maybe between 92 and 95% of the trades that they took that were losses would have been wins if they would have done that. And I'm not even exaggerating on the numbers, you guys. I'm almost positive that your greed, pride, ego, everything got in the way. And that is why you lost the trades. Okay. Now there's too much information in this academy for you guys to be in the negative. Too much information in this academy, too many trades given out, too many ideas given out, too much sauce given out for you guys not to be profiting. Too much. And this is why I tell you that this has to be where you guys need to be like, okay, what is it? What's the reason? Your safety net has a lot to do with it. Okay. Now I'm going to switch over to my Bitcoin chart only because I was kind of giving Daniel the examples a little bit earlier before everybody jumped on the call. Let me just move you guys here. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys Bitcoin for the safety net purposes. So I want to show you guys how I actually trail my safety net, because a lot of the times people tell me, oh, I trailed it too closely or whatever. Right. So let me move this one here. Okay, cool. So guys, this buy area was a buy on the 4-hour that I had, and you guys can see how many times it went up, came back down, stopped me out, got in, came up. The minute it started coming back down, it kept just bag after bag after bag. So when you guys wonder like, well, how did you catch, 30 something trades, 15 trades or whatever? That's because I literally just ping pong it. The minute that it takes me out of my trade because it hit my safety net in profit, I always look to see where it goes. If it goes back into a previous area, I get in again, okay? And so you guys can see here, plenty of opportunities to get in this trade, right? But we're just gonna go, we're gonna look at the very last opportunity. Now, the reason why I have these 3 black lines, personally, again, personally, me, the way that I trade is when I mark up my sweet spot, I always put a trade in at the 50%, at the 618, and one in between, okay? So I take 3 entries and I take two trades each entry, okay? Now, you guys can see here, the reason I do that is because sometimes it doesn't always go to the 618, right? Now, again, you have to be aware that if you do this, there is a possibility that price could do something like this and just keep going down. And then not only am I negative 200 pips here, I'm negative 200 pips twice because I have 2 trades, 200 pips twice here and 200 pips twice here, right? So that's 400, 400, 400. So that's 1200 pips that I would be negative if this just tanked. Does that make sense? This is why I don't do limit orders. This is why I prefer to do alerts. And then I see where it goes. Like in this case, it came down and it activated this, not my 618, but this one with Bitcoin, because the spread is so high. I actually only was able to get these 2 activated before, you know, it went up, or before like it would have just entered me up here, right? So you guys can, the minute that it comes down, and if you guys are free up here, then that's where I would have utilized the buy stop. I do use stops a lot, you guys. Limit orders are the ones that I'm very iffy. Unless I really, really like a setup, then I'll set a limit order. But if it's not something like I am for sure would bet like other people's money on it, I won't take a limit order. So this is where alerts, again, on Ethereum, you guys, your alerts will work wonders. I'm going to use Sean's trade as an example. We set that alert. Everybody's alert went off while we were on the call, but everybody knew to wait for the close and then take the trade. Okay, so that is something that you guys should always utilize. Trading View is free. Guys, I only have the free Trading View version. This is the free one. Okay, I don't have the one that I paid for. I tried to get it. For some reason, it's not letting me, but so I'm stuck to use just the free one, and it works just fine. So I could set an alert. Obviously, I cannot set more than 1 alert, but if I'm gonna take the trade here, then that 1 alert is all I need. Now, sometimes I do want to set an alert on Ethereum and I can't do it there, but I do it on my partner's account. So there's ways around it, you guys. If it's meant to be, like we'll make it happen, right? And so in this case, again, you set your alert, I got in, right? My 618 didn't activate. So I'm in 4 trades, 2 here and 2 here, okay? Now, where my safety net is, I usually do a 250 to 300 pip safety net, okay? I feel that is a very safe, you know, safety net for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, sometimes I'll do 200 to 250. It depends. But I like to always do a 200 to 300 pip safety net, okay? Now, when after the trade is in profit, I don't move it automatically. Like I usually wait. Now, sometimes I do say, like, once you're about 300 pips in profit, go ahead and move it to where you guys, like, let's say 50 to 100 pips. That's fine, right? But I'm going to show you guys how I took it one step further, because too many people, especially when it's like people like from my group, right, that they're like, oh, I keep getting stopped out and I don't know why. And it's not because they're scared. It's not because they're getting out. It is literally because they're getting stopped out too soon. Like they're trailing it too tightly, right? And guys, I was like that too. I was still securing a bag, so I didn't care. And I would just look and get back in. But sometimes you just got to give it a little breathing room, right? And so on a trailing, and it only happens when it's like literally up and down, like it's in a trending market to the upside, but you're still having like the true fight between the sellers and the buyers. Like price is just really coming up and down, like a lot like this. That's when you kind of see it. All right. So you know that I'm big on fibs, you guys. I don't only use fibs for entries. I also use it for my safety net, because once this low and this high was created, because you guys can see here that we started getting a pullback, right? So when I drew my fib on here, this was a possible entry, which happens to be right where I entered it, right? So if I would have gotten stopped out, right, because I would have, in this case, my safety net was still down here, but this could have been a chance for me to re-enter the trade, right? Like to just, if I wanted to stack orders, or for anybody that missed the initial trade, you guys could have safely entered here if it hit that, right? Now, if you guys were watching it and then you guys noticed that it didn't even activate the fib, like it wasn't an active fib, so then you guys did the low to high, where can I buy? You guys can see here, that's the sweet spot. This is the white hot zone, the 236382, and you guys can see here that it just kind of bounced off and went right back up. So when it doesn't even pass the 382, guys, the buyers are in control and it's just going to keep moving up. This would have been a good time for you guys to enter again, okay? But once that happens, if you guys do enter, okay, great, you entered another trade. If not, you're in profit again, right? And so what happened here is that there was a higher low created. So now, once this started going up, that is the new place where I'm going to start my fib, right? So we're going to put our fib here, okay? And so this is the new high right here. So the minute that this was where I started, the minute that this showed that I could go ahead and put my fib there, and this is my fib, my sweet spot. So that means that price could potentially come down here. Now, what I do personally, and see if this makes sense to you guys, then I move my safety net right here. I always put it at the 886. Why? Because the 786 is the last line of defense. If you guys if you guys follow Curtis Cobain, then you guys know that that 786 could possibly still be an entry for a buy. But once it gets to the 886, like once it passes the 786, because he usually puts his safety net between the 786 and the 886, then it could just possibly reverse and go right back down, right? And so the 886 is the last line of defense for me. And so I put my safety net there. So now price will come up. And if it does come back down, I know that there's a possibility that it could hit the sweet spot, even the 786. But the chances of it hitting the 886, you know, it's still risky, but it's a risk I'm willing to take, right? In this case, you guys can see here, price kind of, it still played up. Even if you guys would have used the higher high that was created here, so your 50% 618 was higher and your 886 was still a little bit higher, and it still only touched your 786. So you would not have gotten stopped out of all of these trades that you were in. Does that make sense? Okay, am I with everybody still with me here? Okay. So when you guys, this is how I trail my safety net to be safe so that I don't get stopped out right away. Okay. So now, okay. So then we're going to remove this fib. So now this was a new buy area that people could have jumped in again, right? Now this was another high, right? This was a higher low and this was a higher high. Well, it's kind of the same actually, but still you guys could have put a fib on it again, right? And so now you guys have this high to low, low to high, another buy area. So where am I going to move my safety net? I'm going to move it right here, okay, to the 886. And if I would have gone in on these trades, I would have just put that safety net for all of them, safe safety net for all of them, okay? And so you guys can see here that you're still safe on those trades, okay? Now, again, there's a higher low and a higher high. I do it all over again. You guys, I just do this over and over and over again, okay? And this is how I determine if, again, here you have, I think I marked it up on this wick, but it looks like the blue candle was higher. Regardless, okay, the 886 here, you guys can see that it's still not getting wicked, okay? So that is a safety net for me, okay? That is how I trail my safety net, where I'm not getting stopped out right away, and there's still a possibility, like I'm not in drawdown, right? I'm in profit. There's a possibility for me to stack another trade on there. Now, I will tell you this, you guys, if you guys are dropping a 10-cent lot size down here, don't expect to drop 10 cents, 10 cents. You're going to just, you guys are going to get stopped out, right? Your broker's going to be like, calm down. You can't trade like that. But if you guys do smaller lot sizes, like I used to trade 3 orders here, 3 orders here, and 3 orders here. So I had 9 orders open at the same time. It bit me in the ass because I would forget to move my safety net on some of them. And I was actually, and ended up like losing on some of the trades. So now I only do 2, 2, and 2. Sometimes only 2 and 2 activate, sometimes only 1, like 2 here activate, but I do higher lot sizes, right? And so now if I am stacking orders and getting in on all of these other trades, guess what? I'm just doing a smaller lot size, but I'm getting in again, right? And I'm still using proper risk management, because now check it out. This is the new entry right here, right? This is the new safety net. Okay, so I have all of these trade possibilities that they're all in profit. This is the only one. This 50% 618 area with that right here is the only one where your safety net would probably be at break even or a little bit under. So you might take an L there, a lesson, but it's not even a lesson. You guys were just like, this would have to just like tank. Does that make sense? Because you guys already did the high to low. This is another possible entry. And if you guys are still following your proper trading, like how you guys trade, and if you guys are looking at the higher time frame and, you know, making sure that they're all like, all of the check marks are being checked off and it's a possible safe trade for you, then you're going to be in the clear. Okay. So again, you guys, we do it all over again, right? We do this low to this high, and this is the new buy area. And if you guys see even that, the safety net, you still would have been in the clear. Okay, so this would have been your new safety net right here. Okay, and you guys can see here, 0 drawdown on this trade, right? It just kind of shot up if you guys took that trade. And then look at that, you guys. Now you guys are in the clear on all of these trades. Right? Like now it just shot up, like Bitcoin just shot up. It was ridiculous. Like now you're up all the way up here. And even if you guys would have gotten stopped out, let's do the math. Okay. So let's say that you guys got in here. Let's actually just use here. Okay. Let's say that you guys would have gotten stopped out here. That's 412 trades, or sorry, 411 pips. Let's say 400 pips. Okay. Times 2, you took 2 trades, 800 pips. Okay, let's say that you guys would have got in here at the 382, right? Only 290, let's say 300 pips. Okay, so times 2, or let's say just say you would have gotten in 1. So that's 8 plus 3, that's 1100 pips that you have so far. Okay, let's say that you got in another one here, right? And then that's another 150 pips. Okay, so that's 1100. So now it's 1250 pips. Okay, let's say you got in again right here, right? And then you guys got stopped out right here. That's another 60 pips. Okay, so that's already 1300 pips that you guys would have caught. And then let's say that this one right here, that it you took an L, so you lost, let's see, how many pips did you lose here? Okay, you lost 100 pips. So now you're back at 1200 pips. Boo hoo hoo. Are you gonna be sad? Like proper risk management, you got stopped out, you took a red loss, like a red loss, right? Everything else was in the blue, and you still secured in the bag 1200 pips. Do you guys see this? Like this has worked for me, you guys. This is how I trade. I love it. Like in this case, like here, this is the safety net, right? And then the minute that if I would have just done this, you know, if I would have done this right here, I mean, look at where my safety net is now. I'm way up here, you guys, and price is way up here. I'm like hella safe now, as far as if I'm gonna, like, price is up here, and this is where my safety net is. If I wanted to, I could put it higher, but I'll just wait to see. And if you guys can see here, the price just kind of consolidated. This was a very, very strong level of resistance that we had here. It broke past it, but then it came back down, and then you created another like low to high here. I would have probably marked this up, this high to low, and seen here, and I would have gotten stopped out. Okay, so even then, like I mark up everything. It's a possible trade, right? And so in this case, this it created this other like swing up. So that was the low to high. Where can I buy? You can see here, anytime that you see the green highlighted like that, it's just a 382-236 entry. Same here, low to high. That was a 50% 618. It barely wicked it, but spread would have said psych, and you guys wouldn't have gotten in on that trade because Bitcoin's spread is stupid right now. But if you guys would have just, or market executed one of these trades, you would have caught it a little bit higher. But then now you're looking at this low to this high, right? And so see this right here, boom, right there, that would have stopped you out. Do you see that? So if you guys would have done this low to this high and moved your safety net, now, where is it? Let's move it all the way up here, okay? If you guys would have moved it here, all of your trades, all freaking million of your trades that you caught on the way up, right? All of them, you moved your safety net right here to 51,670 pips, or I mean the price, right? Because it hit your 886. That's where I would have put my safety net, me, okay? That's where I would have gotten stopped out. But let's look at price, you guys. So now let's see where you got stopped out. Okay, so shit, still lower. Okay, so let's say you guys would have just caught this trade right here. Okay, and you got stopped out over here. You got stopped out at 1900 pips on one trade after successfully just trailing. That's if you guys didn't just want to secure the bag and just close out, right? If you guys just would have left it open because you thought, oh my God, it's going to the moon. So 1900, you guys would have, if you guys would have caught this like 382, that's another 1800 pips. If you guys would have caught this one at the very top, that's another 1600 pips. If you guys, again here, 1500 pips here, 14 here. I'm not even adding it up, you guys. It's ridiculous. 1300. Boom. That's it. And then you guys would have gotten stopped out. So this one would have, it would have just come back down and just stopped you out if you guys would have taken this trade, right? So there you have it, you guys. Like all of these trades right here, you guys would have been moving your safety net would have been down here. The minute that you guys would have done this, and it would have, if you guys would have, actually, you might not have even moved your safety net because there's not a, I think it passed your, that was a 786, 886 entry. So here, if you would have marked it up, you probably would have gotten stopped out like your original, like you would have left your safety net down here. And on this original setup, if you guys would have just put your alert and watched it, you would have seen that it would have gone too low and you probably wouldn't have gotten in. So maybe you guys wouldn't have even gotten stopped out and just would have marked this low, this high, another 382, 236 entry, and then gone in again. And then here we are over here. Oh, look at guys, this was a level. This is perfect. We're going to do this right here. So this level right here was the next level on Bitcoin for it to break in order and close for it to be another buy. Now, Bitcoin could potentially go to like 53.9, maybe 54. I don't know if it'll hit all the way to 56, but those are the levels that I was looking at for take profit. I am in some Bitcoin buys. I don't know if you guys are still in from when Picasso called out the second reentry from 49.5. If you are, you're in hella profit. Guys, I'm right now in Bitcoin in my trades. I'll tell you right now how much profit I'm in. So guys, right now I'm about 4,000 pips in profit from where I have some buys on Bitcoin. So yeah, so that right there, and I'm about 300 pips in profit from the Ethereum trade because it was pulling back. We'll switch over to Ethereum again to look at it. But guys, this could be a possible, I don't know if the scalper has called out a buy. No, it hasn't. Okay, so this was an area, this was the next area of resistance that Bitcoin needed to break in order for it to be a buy. Okay, so if you guys are on this call, just look at it, look at that level, see where you got 6 minutes till the candle closes, see where the next one opens and see how it goes. If it's something that you guys want to take, just make sure proper risk management, and the minute that it goes into profit, just keep an eye out for it. And then if it's going to be a trade that you guys want to take it, you know what I mean? But it looks like it's going to close. I don't know, a lot can happen in 6 minutes with crypto, so we'll just wait on that. All right, now we're going to move back to Ethereum just so we can see where that trade is going right now. And guys, again, I do the exact same thing for my safety net on Ethereum. You guys can see here that this one actually has been bouncing in this zone. I feel with Bitcoin, we had a more steady, slow movement up, but Ethereum has just been stuck in this zone. So the next level for Ethereum for a buy, it is this right here. It is 39,059. Okay, so 39,060 is where you guys would safely be able to take a buy if it breaks it. Okay, we've had some it's just been really hard to break out of these two zones. Okay, if anything, it could just again reject off this area and come right back down. Okay, so you guys do with that information as you will, right? But for anybody that is in this buy, you guys are still in profit. Again, this was another safe entry. If anybody wanted to get in on this buy, this was again the high to low that we measured. This is the sweet spot. Just watch out for this zone, just because it could again not complete the fib and just kind of reject off of this area right here. So I would just keep an eye on it and then see. For those of you guys that are in, you're in profit, you're good. If it comes down and hits this spot again, I mean, just get in again. I mean, that's what I do. And like, I get in again, but I use proper risk management. I trust me, you guys, I've taken way too many lessons in my life to not use proper risk management, to not move my safety net in profit, to, over leverage, to do all of this other stuff. I take the trades. I don't even use big lot sizes. Like, people tell me like, damn, like, why don't you drop a standard? Like, why don't you use this? Guys, I do not trade more than 50 cents. And I know that I've seen some people that they'll post and I see how much they're dropping, and I'm just like, you got some balls. Like, my account is pretty big, on my KOT account is pretty big, and I don't even drop that much. And so I do end up dropping, let's say, a standard, but because I have multiple orders open. Does that make sense? So maybe not a full standard, but I'll drop like $5, $6 because I have, like, let's say 2 entries here, 2 entries here, it adds up, So I do that because I split my risks. I'd rather just split my risk and close out and take partials than to have this one trade open with a crazy lot size. And then it just be watching it. Again, I don't want to trade to not lose the money. I want to trade to profit. And so if I'm worried about losing, I'm going to lose. Okay. So that's something that I always look out for, you guys. I hope that this helped. The safety net, again, you guys, that's something that so many people have asked me, like, what's a good amount of pips to put your safety net? And for those of you guys that are new and don't know, safety net is just another word for stop loss. Again, we use the term safety net because your subconscious mind will only register the word loss, which will give you a negative association to the word stop loss, which will, like, you guys won't want to trade with it, not knowing why. You guys will just be so scared of it because you think that you're going to lose. Why? Because your subconscious mind is registering the word loss. But if you use the word safety net, then you automatically think of being safe, being caught, right? Trapeze artists use safety nets to save their life in case they plunge to their death. They don't, because the safety net is there, right? We use safety nets so our accounts don't plunge to their deaths, right? And so you need to start using, and I'm talking about not just with me, you guys, with all of your people, safety nets. We need to start conditioning the mind to register safety net as something that they need in order to survive. And guys, you do. In trading, you do. I'm sorry, but you need your safety net in order to survive this career. Again, you guys this is a career. It's not fun and games. This isn't a hobby. This is something that could potentially change everybody's life that's on this call. Okay. And every person that you introduce to this, every person that you bring on board, this could change their life. And so we need to start conditioning their mind from right now to start seeing that is what they need. That's the only way that they're going to be successful. And I don't care if anybody can argue with me. I could get on the call and argue with anybody. I don't care. Your safety net is what's going to get you, what's going to make you a successful trader. Your proper risk management is what's going to keep you in the blue. Okay. So again, there's so many technical analysis that are given out by our educators. There's so many there's people on this call right now that give out trades for Forex, for indices, whatever, right? And they're great traders. But what is going to keep you in the blue? Like, you guys can have a $5,000 account. And I've seen it happen because it's happened to me. I had one of my boys, he built up his account from $50 fucking to $27,000. I saw him. He called me. Yeah, I'm at 3,000. Yeah, I'm at 8,000. Fuck yeah, I'm at 27,000. I'm like, yo, stop trading. Stop it. Just stop it. Close the computer. Put your phone down. Like, yeah, stop. Calls me later. I blew the account. $27,000 blown account. Why? Greed, pride, no risk management, no stop loss, right? No safety net. I've seen it happen. All right. So that is why I'm telling you, you guys could have the biggest accounts in the world, but you guys will keep thinking it's going to go back. It's going to go back up. It's going to go back up. Guys, it still happens to me sometimes. It still happens to me. Like, and I'm not saying that I still do it. I'm saying the thoughts are still there. Just like how I told you, how many of you guys enter a trade and feel like this is the one to the moon? You guys are praying. Again, you're with your velita, lighting it up, praying that it goes to the moon because you want to retire, or you need money for rent or for car or for, whatever, right? So that is the same thoughts are still there. And so we need to condition our minds, and we need to be able to help condition our people's minds, because we're in this industry for ourselves, but we are not by ourselves. And we want every single person to be successful. Like, I truly, genuinely want every single person on this call to win. I want you guys to secure the bags. I get so happy and excited when Daniel calls me and he's like, I went 4-0 today. I'm done. Like, and he tells me that he's done, and he's actually turning his phone off and he's going to bed early because he's up all night. He's crazy. But when he does that, it makes me so happy, because I know that he just grew his account, and I know that it's one more day added to his. It's kind of like those you guys have seen and I'm going to use Monsters Inc. as an example. I am a mom. Okay. So Disney movies are a must for me, but you know how it says like 0 or like 365 days from last accident, right? And then like it goes back to 0. Like, I feel like us as traders, like that's the sign that we have, like 20 days without, me doing something stupid and not using a stop loss or not, you know what I mean? Like, and that's how it is. So every day that Daniel calls me and he tells me that, I feel like that is just one more day that he has now, that he hasn't let his bad habits get in the way of his trading, right? And the more days that you guys have like that, and that's why the compounding plan is so important, at least to me. Again, I see things very differently, you guys, but the compounding plan to me is going to teach discipline. I've said this before on my call, but for those of you guys that are brand new, think about this. Every single person on this call has been conditioned their entire life to work. You guys go to school, you wake up, you get ready, you go to school, you have a lunch break, you go back to school, you go home, do homework, whatever, watch cartoons, go to sleep, do it all over again, Monday through Friday. Do you not? Middle school comes around, you do the exact same thing. High school comes around, you do the exact same thing, but now you get 15 more minutes at lunch, right? College comes around, you still do the same thing, right? What are they conditioning you for? They're conditioning you for a job. So every single person on this call, unless you guys were entrepreneurs since a very young age, which it is now very possible, right? But most of the people that are coming into this industry, most of the people that you are going to be talking to about this industry are coming from the workforce. They are coming from a conditioned mind, a conditioned habit of waking up, going to work, having a lunch break, going back to work, and then, going home and doing it all over again. So you give them this freedom of, hey, you guys just, watch the curriculum, watch these lives. Hey, you guys should just, get on the charts. You guys are giving them way too much freedom. They're not conditioned for that. They don't know what to do. That's why so many people that leave the workforce to come into entrepreneurship, whether it be trading or whatever, that's why they're not successful, because they still need structure. Even though we preach about this freedom, we preach about like, you have time freedom, you have financial freedom, you have all this, you do, but most people aren't going to have it because they've been conditioned for that. So they have to be able to work on themselves and create these new habits, and they're not going to create these new habits without help. And that's why the compounding plan to me is something that is so good for somebody that's brand new with zero trading habits, bad habits, right? Because then they're able to follow it. They're able to take 2 trades a day, proper risk management, secure the bag, close the trade, and that's done, right? Do it for 10 freaking days and profit, pay themselves. Because what do people do when they're at work? They work for 2 weeks, and then what happens? They get a check, either directly deposited or they get a paper check, right? I haven't seen a paper check in years, but it could still happen, right? So why do you think the compounding plan works for anybody that's brand new? You see how I'm making you guys see this from a different perspective, okay? If you guys want to be successful, if you guys want your group to be successful, if you guys are truly building your organization to become chairman and you want your people to be successful, you need to think about these things. Compounding plans, whether it be the one I made, whether it be the ones you guys created, whether it be, there's so many educators that have these plans for you. They work because it is structure. Okay. Now, I made mine, I took mine a little further where it pays you every 10 days because that is what they've been conditioned their whole lives for. Work and get paid. It's a reward system, right? You guys have to give that reward in order for them to keep wanting to do it. So if you guys actually do and complete the first 10 days of that compounding plan, you have created 10 solid days of good trading habits, 10 solid days of proper risk management, 10 solid days of looking for the safest trade possible for you to get in at to be able to secure those 500 or 200 pips, which ain't shit in crypto. You guys already saw, right? So you guys need to understand that these things that we tell you are for your own like success. And it's for you guys to pass that success on to other people. You see, there's 19 people on this call, 19 people that took the initiative and took the risk of investing in themselves to learn this. Okay. But from those 19 people, I guarantee there's at least 15 leaders on this call who will share this information with their people. So yeah, there's only 19 people on this call right now, but I guarantee over 100 people will hear this information because you guys are going to share it. Okay, that's the beauty of you guys learning and passing it on. That's the beauty of our industry because we share it with people because we truly want them to be successful. Without those people, this academy doesn't exist. Okay, so with that being said, you guys, I really hope that you got some value from this call. Let me look at the chat to see if there is any questions. Is there a lot size calculator I can use with crypto? I don't know if there's one. I just know that with Bitcoin, every dollar is a pip, and then with Ethereum, it's decimal. So every like cent, I guess, is a pip. So that's why when you see on Ethereum that it says 32 pips, it's the equivalent of 320 pips because if you're using like a penny lot size. So I don't know if there is a calculator. If there is one, somebody post it and give them that information. Now that's how you flip an account. Yes, ETA. How many trades a day do you execute on average? Guys, I execute quite a few trades. Like today, from 4 o'clock in the morning that I was talking to Daniel till now, I've taken 37 trades. Well, actually more because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 trades open and in profit. They're in blue. But I've already closed 7 wins. I'm sorry, 30 wins and 7 losses. Okay, so I take a lot of trades, but that's because again, you guys see how many trades. I actually stack orders, and when I get stopped out, I look for a safe entry and I get back in. Okay, now again, I don't want you guys to just like, oh yeah, I said to get back in. No, safely look to see if there is a trade that you can get back in on. But if you're doing the like, let's say the compounding plan, guys, that's only 2 trades a day, 2 trades that you can take. Now, if that it's 20 trades in 10 days, 2 trades a day. That could be less days if you take more trades a day. Like, let's say that Ethereum trade, let me actually share my screen real quick so you guys can see, okay? Or I'm gonna use the Bitcoin trade, okay? So right here we have, let me move this, okay? So this was Ethereum and this was a trade that was called out, right? So, oops. So here you guys have this trade that the people that were on Sean's call got in, right? So like, let's say that that is one of your trades, or let's say that you stacked orders and you took 2 trades there. So you guys could have just taken these 2 trades and did it even go? I don't think it went up 500 pips, but no, it's only 300. But let's say you did the 200 pip and dip plan and you took profit and that's it. So you took 2 trades, 200 pips, you profited. Okay, bye, right? But on Bitcoin, there was a possible trade here too, right? Because we said that if it broke and closed this area, that this could have been a possible trade. So it broke, it closed, it came back. You can see here that it retested this area. So if you guys want to be safe and just wait to see where the next candle open, which is in 6 minutes, then you guys can wait and see. And if not, then no. But like, let's say you guys took this trade, okay? So if you guys did take this trade, let's say that you guys took it somewhere here, and you guys could, let's just do this. So let's say you just did you're doing the 200 pip and dip plan. Let's say 200 and let's say 300 pips, just to be safe. So let's say around there, your safety net is always 200 to 200. Well, for Bitcoin, 250. So let's say right there. Okay. So let's say that you took 2 more trades there. So you could have successfully taken 4 trades because you took 2 on Ethereum at the same entry. And then let's say 2 on Bitcoin. Let's say you take 2 trades here. Now, the way that you guys would enter it though, would be 1 trade. Let's say you're starting it brand new. So let's say on Ethereum, right? You guys took these trades and you took 2. Let's say that you just wanted to get your 2 out of the way, right? So you would take 1 trade at a penny and another trade at 2 pennies. So then that's 2 trades up. Your profit is going to be at 200 pips and dip, $2 and $4. Okay. So you're only going to make $6 here, right? But the little money adds up. So, and then let's say that the Bitcoin trade presented itself like it was too apparent. Like, let's just say it was a beautiful trade. Actually, let's use this one. Okay. Let's say that it just came right into your sweet spot, right? And so you're like, I got to take this trade. And so you take 2 more trades right here. So you've already done 1 cent and 2 cents. So now you have 3 cents and 4 cents. So you're going to put 2 more entries right here, right? At the same entry, right? If you're going to market execute, great, market execute them as close as possible, but just add your 200 pips. I always like to go above 200 pips just in case. But in this case, your 200 pip and dip would have been right there. Boom. It would have been completed. So now you got a 6 cents profit and you got an 8 cents profit. So now you successfully took 4 trades in 1 day. So now you only need 16 trades to go to finish your 20 trade, the first little block, which is 20 trades. Okay. So it all depends on, again, like how you say it. I like to give this, like the compounding plan, to people that are brand new, only because and let me show you guys this really quick. So you guys can see how I do it. So I personally have it on my computer, so I could highlight when I execute the trade. Okay. For those of you guys that I emailed it to, you guys can just highlight it, physically print it out and highlight it, which again, I'm going to go into the little psychology behind doing certain things like that. Okay. So when you guys can successfully, because everything is done from your phone. Yes, you get the trade. Yes, you make profit, but it's on your phone. It's nothing tangible that you can feel, that you can touch. But if you print out your sheet and you could highlight, and I actually have a highlighter here. If you can highlight that it was done, that is a sense of accomplishment. That releases that is it dopamine? That is like, it is a chemical that is released into your body that gives you a sense of accomplishment, right? That is what you need. Like, I know I'm getting like too far into like this science stuff, you guys, but trust me that it has a lot to do with how you trade. So when you guys are doing this, I recommend, if anybody is doing this compounding plan, print it out, any compounding plan, even if you have one of your own, print it out, physically highlight when one is done. You see me, when I do it, I physically highlight when it's done. And then like you guys can see here. So I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I was doing the compounding plan right before Mercury retrograde. And then there was so much fuckery in Bitcoin that I was just like, I'm not going to trade this. And that's when I started trading US 30. And because I was bored, there was like literally no trades to take. So I decided to just leave this on pause and then move on. So that's why I was going to switch my KOT into my other, like to my prosperity, but that's when all the Instacoin drama happened. So I just kind of just started a new account on prosperity and just waiting. I'm going to keep trading on KOT. I'm just going to continue where I left off here. But you guys can see here that I could physically just highlight when I'm done. And that physically highlighting is a sense of accomplishment. I finished it, boom, next, right? So you guys can take however many trades you feel possible. Do not, I repeat, do not try to take the 20 trades in one day. Again, if you're forcing the trades, you're going to lose, okay? Now, my trades, yes, I took 30 trades and yes, they were all in blue, but why? Because I got stopped out. So it's not that they hit TP, I got stopped out in profit. So that just means that every time that I entered, the buyers and the sellers were truly fighting. Because guys, it's rare that I have that many. I usually do 100 trades in a month. right? Like, cause I don't even reach 100 trades. I always say I'm going to successfully like 100 wins in 1 month. Like that's what I go for. And I always ended up like 70, 68, 82. Like I would always reach for like, try to reach 100, but I never did. I never forced them. I just let them come as they may. Now, these 30 trades, they weren't because they were like, they all hit TP. They were because I got stopped out. Okay. So the whole point is to have safe trades. There was like I said, the fight between the sellers and the buyers was really strong. And that's why there's so much, like you can see in Ethereum, there's just so much consolidation in that area, because it's just, there's going to be a breakout soon. There is. And there's a 50-50 chance that it could go up or it could go down, because those are the only two ways that it could go, right? And so this is where we obviously look at everything else, all our confirmations, and then act accordingly from there. So that, I hope that answers your question as far as like the trades. Do we have any more questions? Can you send me the comp plan? Yes, send me a message either on Telegram or on Instagram, and I'll send it to you. Okay, guys, somebody put there that there's a calculator on the Swipecoin app. Boom, there you go. All right, so I hope that answers your question. Again, you guys, I hope you got some value. If you did, let me know. We'll see you guys next Monday. For those of you guys that do want the compounding plan, just message me. I'll send it to you. If you are on Ricky's chat on TradingView, I might just post it on there. Or did I post it on there? I don't know if I did, but I will post it on there if you guys are on that chat and you want it. If not, just message me and I'll email it to you guys. I'll email you both. I have the 200 pip and dip plan and the 500 pip and dip plan. That is very good for anybody that's brand new or anybody that's even a little bit experienced and wants to kind of get their old habits out of the way. Okay. But thank you so much, you guys. We will see you next Monday. Have a great trading week. Okay. Peace.